Hi, welcome to our channel Programming of Mind, where we accelerate your knowledge with concise, from high-value book summaries. Let's begin. The dangers of relying on narrow expertise. While specialization has long been celebrated as the gold standard for success, there are significant risks associated with relying too heavily on narrow expertise. The world is full of complex, interconnected problems that require more than just technical knowledge. As industries evolve, the traditional model of deep specialization, becoming the go-to expert in a single area, can become a liability rather than an asset. But why is this the case? What makes narrow expertise dangerous? And how can we avoid falling into its trap? Let's start by looking at the story of Tom, a skilled civil engineer. Tom had spent over 20 years working in the same company, gradually climbing the ranks with his deep knowledge of structural design. His expertise was unparalleled in the field, and he was often sought after to lead high-profile projects. He believed that his mastery in one area, structural engineering, would guarantee his success for years to come. But when the company shifted its focus towards sustainable design and green architecture, Tom found himself struggling to keep up. His specialized knowledge in traditional construction methods was no longer sufficient, and he was suddenly faced with the need to learn entirely new concepts like energy-efficient systems, sustainable materials, and eco-friendly building practices. Tom's story is a classic example of how narrow expertise can become a liability. In a world that is constantly changing, focusing solely on one area of expertise can lead to stagnation. As industries evolve and new technologies emerge, specialized knowledge can quickly become outdated. Tom's reliance on his expertise in traditional engineering made it difficult for him to adapt when the industry changed direction. In the end, he found that his specialized skills were no longer enough to meet the demands of the new market, and he was forced to play catch-up. This is the danger of narrow expertise. It often leads to a fixed mindset. When we focus all our energy on mastering one thing, we become overly reliant on our existing knowledge. We become less willing to explore new ideas or question established assumptions. This closed mindset can prevent us from adapting to new challenges or recognizing opportunities in other areas. The world doesn't stop evolving just because we've become experts in a particular field. If anything, the rate of change is accelerating, and those who fail to adapt will find themselves left behind. Take the case of James, a software developer who had built his career around programming in a specific language. For years, James had been known as the expert in his field, creating complex systems with great precision. However, as new programming languages and frameworks emerged, James found himself struggling to keep up. His deep knowledge of one programming language, while valuable, wasn't enough to navigate the rapidly changing tech landscape. The world was moving toward more flexible, dynamic approaches to software development, and James, despite his expertise, was unable to adapt in time. James' experience highlights another danger of narrow expertise. It limits our ability to innovate. When we become too focused on one area of knowledge, we fail to see the bigger picture. Innovation often arises from the intersection of different fields and ideas. When we are too specialized, we can miss the connections between disciplines that lead to breakthroughs. This is why so many of the world's most successful entrepreneurs, innovators, and thought leaders didn't limit themselves to one area of focus. They were able to draw from multiple domains of knowledge to create something entirely new. Take, for example, Elon Musk. While he is known for his ventures in space exploration, electric vehicles, and renewable energy, his success didn't come from focusing on a single field. Musk's ability to innovate lies in his willingness to combine his knowledge of engineering, physics, economics, and design. Instead of confining himself to one area of expertise, Musk leveraged his broad understanding of various industries to create groundbreaking solutions that transcend traditional boundaries. His ventures in electric cars and space exploration are not just about technology. They're about challenging established norms, thinking outside the box, and drawing from a wide range of disciplines to solve problems in creative ways. The danger of narrow expertise also extends to personal growth. When we confine ourselves to one field or area of interest, we limit the opportunities for self-discovery and development. Specialization often comes with a heavy focus on specific metrics of success. Grades, achievements, certifications, while neglecting other aspects of our personal lives. We become so focused on achieving excellence in one area that we forget to nurture other parts of our identity, such as creativity, emotional intelligence, or interpersonal skills. This imbalance can lead to burnout, dissatisfaction, and a lack of fulfillment. Consider the example of Sarah, a lawyer who spent years climbing the ranks in a prestigious law firm. She was highly respected in her field and had earned a reputation as a brilliant litigator. However, as Sarah reached the peak of her career, she realized that something was missing. Despite her professional success, she felt disconnected from her personal life and lacked a sense of purpose beyond her work. She had neglected other interests and passions, like writing and traveling, in favor of dedicating herself fully to her legal career. It wasn't until Sarah took a sabbatical and allowed herself to explore these other passions that she discovered a new sense of fulfillment. By diversifying her interests, she was able to rediscover her creativity and develop a more balanced and meaningful life. Sarah's experience is a reminder that relying on narrow expertise can limit not only our professional growth, but also our personal development. By focusing exclusively on one area, we lose sight of the broader picture of who we are and what we value. True success doesn't come from becoming the best at one thing. It comes from becoming the best version of ourselves, with a well-rounded set of skills, experiences, and passions. So, how can we avoid the dangers of narrow expertise? The first step is to embrace curiosity. Instead of focusing solely on mastering one area, seek out new experiences, challenge yourself to learn new things, and be open to exploring unfamiliar fields. By diversifying your knowledge and skills, you become more adaptable and resilient in the face of change. You also become more creative, able to draw from a wide range of experiences to solve problems in innovative ways. The key is to remain open-minded and flexible, always willing to expand your horizons and take on new challenges. Specialization can be valuable, but it should never be the only path to success. By combining deep knowledge with a willingness to explore and adapt, you can create a powerful toolkit that allows you to thrive in an ever-changing world. In a world that increasingly rewards versatility, the ability to adapt and apply knowledge across different fields is becoming a critical asset. Don't let narrow expertise limit your potential. Instead, strive to become a well-rounded individual, one who can see connections between different disciplines and apply insights from a variety of sources to create meaningful change. Thank you for listening, and please like the video and subscribe for more great upcoming content that will put you in top 1% people in the world.